What up, techies and gamers? Today is a fine day because today we are going to go head to head with the AM8 dynamic microphone by Fifine and the A8 condenser microphone by Fifine. That's right, two very popular budget realm, pretty good microphones on the market right now, both relatively new with the AM8 recently being released. It is also an awesome microphone. It is now my daily driver, and I did in fact, spoiler, update from the A8 to the AM8 for specific reasons, right? It may not be your reasons, but we're gonna see which one of these is for you. We're gonna put it through a couple of tests, plosives, just to see how the voice actually sounds out of box, right? Because we always wonder if you have to do any tweaking or any major editing after your video is recorded, your gameplay is recorded. Sometimes you have to do a lot of editing with your audio because the microphone you have
probably sucks, right?
So you're looking to upgrade, but not looking to spend too much money, then either one of these can be pretty good for your setup. So let's get into it. So just in terms of physical hardware features, they both on first appearance, they're pretty flashy. They look quite nice. Both have their own way of displaying RGB. I can't tell which RGB I like better. This one is pretty nice as well. And this just has a subtle ring around the bottom. Both are customizable. They both have RGB buttons that you can click and toggle through different RGB settings here. So just by clicking this touch sensitive button on the back, you will get several modes of RGB, including some cycling transition modes of RGB. Same thing goes with this. You also have RGB button here on the front, and I can toggle through a number of different, if I'm looking at the camera, I can see the colors better on the table than actual light, because this lighting is actually brighter than the lighting on the A8. So that's why on film, you can see the color more on the A8 versus the AM8. No real advantage there in terms of the functionality. Both of the touch sensitive RGB sensitivity things are very nice. Both come with audio jacks, 3.5mm audio jacks to monitor with your headphones. Both are USB-C compatible, so you can connect USB-C to USB-A to your PC, to your Mac, to your PlayStation 4 and 5. However, the AM8 has its own audio control for monitoring, so you can control your monitoring on the fly right on the front of your AM8. The A8 does not have a monitoring control, only gain control. The AM8 comes with a nice little foam wind screen here, little wind guard, and the A8 has a windshield, so both have some form of hardware to mitigate noise, plosives, that sort of thing. However, the AM8 is equipped with an XLR port, so if you wanted to get an even more refined audio via the XLR port, for music, for more crisp voice audio, this microphone can actually do that. The AM8 is only USB-C. Both come with stands. Right now I have the AM8 on a boom arm because it's my daily driver. I didn't want to have to go ahead and put it on a stand, but essentially the audio will be roughly the same whether you're on a stand or on a boom arm. And last but not least, the A8 actually comes with its own shock mount. And if your microphone is wobbly, this thing has a little rubbery, wobbly, nice little shock mount. This one doesn't have that kind of shock mount. However, the arm that it actually hangs on functions as somewhat of a minor shock mount of it, right? You can make it tight, but you can't make it so tight so it still moves and gives it room to wiggle and not capture too much vibration. All right, so right now I have the AM8 with some processing going on it, but I'm going to remove all of those filters from OBS, right? I will silence them. Right now it sounds pretty good. There's no noise in the background. But if I turn off all of these filters, now I have turned off the filters for both microphones. So what you're going to hear from this point until I say it's changed on is raw microphone quality out of box, right? Running at 100% gain. That's basically what I have this microphone set to on my right, your left. What? Is it reversed? My mirror? What? Now we have made the switch to the A8, and this is what the audio sounds like with No filters, no kind of editing done to it at all in post, in video. This is what you're getting out of box. And this is at 100%, just like I did with the other microphone. And this is the noise you're hearing in the room. I'm looking at my levels in OBS and it looks like it's picking up more noise. I'm going to switch between the A8 and the AM8. I'm just going to mute it and then unmute this one right next to the HVAC so you can see what the audio sounds like. This is even closer because the HVAC is on my right side. Let's go ahead and toggle it to the right. I have just muted the A8 and we have the AM8 going on the HVAC side. So just looking at the ambient noise test, this microphone is doing a lot more pickup than this one here. This comes pretty hot out of the box. It is definitely a little bit more sensitive than the AM8. So if you wanted to have it at a distance from you, it will do a better job at picking up your voice, provided that maybe you have some noise filtering going on it, and provided that there's not that much noise in your room in the first place. Let's do a quick white noise test. I want to have it going in front of it as well as going around the back of it. Switch over to the A8. Let's mute. Again, the levels in OBS were higher on the Fifine A8, so I'm sure that's definitely picking up the white noise more than the AM8. Now let's go into the nitty gritty and do some plosives. Let's start with the AM8. People presently possess the proper propaganda. I can see that I'm popping this microphone. It's clipping just ever so slightly there on my levels in OBS. In my last review, I did not have any plosives problems, so this microphone, unless you're this close to it, popping pimples. What? How would you pump pimples on your microphone? Switching over to the A8. Let's mute the AM8. Peter Piper plays a pipe. That's it. He's a perfect person. Pop his Pepsi. What? How do you pop your... I guess you just throw it on the floor and it pops. Plosives aren't too big of an issue on the A8 microphone at about half an inch away from it. The other thing that this AM8 does well is mitigate hissing. If you notice, a lot of my S's right out of the box, and my S's are pretty snaky. What? Maybe if I blow directly into it, no one talks like that. But if I'm having it right here over to the side, do not worry about your hisses being too loud. Hissing into the A8 sounds like I'm having Caesar salad and a pair of snakes. What? Salad and snakes. I'm pretty sure some people eat snakes. Now let's apply the noise filters to both microphones to get a better sound quality out of them and to mitigate some of this noise right now that you're hearing in the background. This is the audio you're getting from the AM8. No noise in the background, and the audio quality, I'm sure, has doubled in size. What? Doubled in quality. Now, I am speaking about, I don't know, a foot or so away from it, but I'm sure if I spoke into the microphone, you're going to get some clean audio out of this. Low hisses, low plosives. That's right. The AM8 is quite a clean audio experience, in my experience. Now, let's go ahead and apply these very same filters over to the A8. So right now we are on the A8 microphone with a very slight compression going as well as noise filtering. No HVAC noise, no PC fan noise, no ambulance in my backyard. What? And this is the quality you're getting with the A8 with a little bit of tweaking on the fly. Can you get away with just using your audio like this in post, right after your video and everything is recorded? Absolutely. More so, I think, with the AM8, but this is trailing right behind it, not so far. And it depends on how much pickup you need for your microphone. So let's do a little bit of distance test talking about the pickup. So right now I have the A8 at 100% gain, right? So it should effectively pick up my audio. I don't know, this is about 2 and change feet away, 27 inches. I just measured it with my eyeballs. And you're gonna get a very decent pickup with this microphone at this range. But with talking at a distance, you're also gonna get that reverb audio bouncing off of walls, right? This room is not treated, so you're gonna hear the distance, right? You're gonna hear that echo. Bringing it up close, nice and personal. The audio quality on this is good, though I will say the hisses from experience with this microphone are much more pronounced than the AM8. So that you will have to probably edit in posts. But otherwise, outside of that, the lows and mids and highs are there. They're pretty good as well. And this is the quality of the AM8, about arm's length away as well. And this is the pickup that it picks up at 100% gain, right? So that's as much as high as it can go. And that's as high as it can actually pick you up. At a distance, the AM8 is not going to pick up as much as the A8. So in terms of distance, I think the A8 might just be ever so slightly better, I guess, if you're wanting to get picked up at about a 2 foot to 3 foot range and sound a little bit more clear. The A8 is the way to go, but if you're going to have it in your face the way I typically have it, the AM8 may be the way to go. Now, with the noise suppression and compression going on these microphones, let's bring back the white noise test right now. I don't even see my levels moving. How loud do I have to go? In that test, I had my iPhone volume blasting to the max as far as it can go with white noise. And did it pick up any white noise? I take it in the game. And so here we are with the Fifine A8, and here's the white noise. Woo, 100%. Again, hardly any noise, maybe ever so slightly, a little bit of it more on that, but nothing to be ashamed of. What? All right, so final analysis on these two microphones. I feel like you just can't lose with either one of these. Now, if you are one that wants to cut down time in post editing and you're just using your microphone for picking up your voice audio mostly, the Fifine AM8 does a better job with voice audio quality. Your hisses are practically non-present. The bass is nice. The tones are really sweet right there in the midtones. So if you're about right at this distance, less than a foot away, and the mic is pointing directly at you, you're gonna get awesome voice quality with very good mitigation of background noise. If you have noise suppression on or off, it does a better job at mitigating background noise. Now, if you are in the business of having your microphone way over here because you like to game and your keyboard is here and you like to have it at a distance, then you want to have the condenser microphone here. Does a little bit more pickup on the background noise and reverb if your room is not treated, but it will pick you up at a further distance a little bit more clear. If you are a musician or a singer and you are looking to increase the quality of your voice audio as well as your music audio, right, your instrument audio, the Fifine AM8 will be the way to go via XLR, especially if you want to connect this bad boy to a nice sound machine, right? You have one of those fancy things in your house. Another question I get is, can you hear PC audio, gaming audio through the monitoring ports from your microphones into your headset? And the answer is a big yes. You can actually set this microphone to be the output for audio on your PC, and you will get your game audio straight into your headset, plugging into your microphone. That's not a bad sauce. What? hot sauce. But if you're interested in learning a little bit more about these microphones in more details, you can check these links right here. I have reviewed both the AM8 as well as the A8 in full. So click those links. It'll take you straight to the review. And with that, I'll see you in my next video. Later.